Hey everybody, it's Ethan here, and today we're going to go into a pretty cool project that I actually like. It's pretty simple, and I'll walk you guys through it. It's really not that complicated. Essentially, we're going to be using a push button switch to start our John Boat motor. So I've got a 1991 25 horsepower Mercury 2-stroke. I picked it up the other day. I'm really happy with it, but I really wanted to upgrade and do electric start on it. And I was going to do it to my old motor, but my old motor was a 4-stroke and it was pretty buttoned up. So adding, the actual starter solenoid assembly and the ring gear was going to be pretty tough. So I decided not to do that. I'm going to sell that motor. And, that was a 15 horse. And now I've got a 25 horse that's actually lighter. And honestly, it feels like it's more reliable. And once I add this electric start to it, it should be pretty dialed in. So what I'm doing here is essentially I'm just building up this relay. And on the relay, there's really only 4 wires that you should actually care about, or at least that I've, ever really used. The middle wire is almost always cut. I don't use it. I think, maybe there's a couple situations where you actually may want to use it, but I always use my relays with positive in. It's not a ground trigger, it's a positive trigger. And I don't know if there's really a reason for that. It's just the way I've always wired stuff up. I'm not an electrician, but I do understand how these parts work, and they work for me, and why I do it. So I hope to kind of pass on some knowledge to you guys. What I'm doing here is essentially I'm just lengthening some of these cables that need to actually touch the positive terminal. It looks like that's the red wire on the relay, which, yep, it is. So essentially that wire is going to be the primary wire that's providing all of the power to the starter motor, not the relay. So essentially there's a red and a blue wire on the relay where all the power is going to be flowing through it to the starter motor. So there's 4 wires. There's a white wire and a black wire. So for now, just think of the white wire as positive and the black wire as negative. When positive input is put into the white wire, and then it is also grounded through the black wire to the battery, the relay will close and allow electrical pass-through between the red wire and the blue wire. Most of the relays that you get in a package will come with a little sheet, and it will tell you exactly which is which. But for my example here, it's really easy. These relays, there's 16 gauge wire on the white and the black wire there. So it's fairly easy to see that that's the low power input from our push button switch. Okay. That's not where you're running 75 amps of power through it or whatever these are rated for. So you can use 16 gauge wire on those. I am only using 12 gauge wire here, and that's purely because that's all I've got lying around. That's marine grade wire. And I just didn't feel like ordering a whole nother spool. So I ordered 100 feet of red 12 gauge marine rated wire and a black spool as well, and that should serve me for the entire boat. I certainly could have probably cut some corners and went 16 and a 12 and another 16 and another 12 of red and black, but I just didn't feel like doing that because it's really not that big a deal for me. It would have cost a little bit more money, and I don't think I'm going to use 100 feet. It's only a 14-foot boat anyways, so... The reason I did this is purely because I want my deep cycle battery in the front that's powering my trolling motor to only run my trolling motor and maybe some lights. I also didn't want to run wires from the front all the way to the back, as just securing them is kind of annoying, and I'm pretty lazy. So I like having this just kind of in the back. It's going to power 2 bilge pumps that'll literally be, less than 2 feet away from it, and the engine that's probably 3 feet away from it. So I'm using 12 gauge wire on all of it. That should provide it with more than enough power, especially when I'm using, I think they're 70 amp, maybe they're 60, 50. Even if they were 30 amp relays, that would be more than enough power. So essentially everything's really close and compact, and I really shouldn't be using this battery in the back at all unless I'm starting the boat or I'm using the bilge pump. On another note, if you were going to be leaving your boat in the water for a long time and you wanted to use a float switch, this may not be the best idea. purely because it's going to constantly be going on and off. So you might want to have a way to charge the battery, and you might want a little larger battery, or you might want to figure out a different way to do that, because I'm going to be manually wiring all of my bilge pumps just to a switch, because the only reason I should really be using my bilge pump is when I'm out on the water and I've either taken on water through hitting a big wave, or I'm sinking, which hopefully not. But essentially in this video, to keep it really simple, I'm using one relay, one push button switch to power a starter motor. You won't actually see the starter motor in this video. I'm actually kind of getting towards the end here, but essentially when I push that button, it will activate the relay, and that's all that matters. So all this wiring that you're seeing right here, all it's going to do is provide a very high amp current to my starter motor, which I will wire in the future once I actually get it, and I'll upload another video and you guys will see how that's done. But essentially, I got a smaller battery, so I have a little bit of room to work inside of it with all my little electronics. It'll keep them waterproof, hopefully, for the most part of it. I also put the vent of my battery cover not over the terminals, over the other part that's kind of sealed in, so I'm not constantly dripping water on all my electronic connections and having them rust or oxidize or whatever. So I always put them on the back side just in case. It promotes longevity. There you can see I just took the middle wire and I put a piece of heat shrink on it because I don't need it. I also cut that pretty short. And there's the push button switch. So once I have everything wired up, I push that button, the relay clicks over, and then all I'll need to do is run the blue wire to my starter motor. And maybe I'll just give you a quick little video of that here. All right, so here you're going to hear the actual relay click, not the button. So that's not the button, it's the relay making that sound. Listen again. Okay, so the electrical connection is being made in between the momentary push button switch and the relay, and that clicking sound you're hearing is the relay actually activating. So a lot of companies will give you these little sheets in the relay box. We're using the bottom right portion of it. Hopefully I zoom in on it here. Yep, there we go. Normally off relay with the positive trigger. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're giving the relay a positive input when we push that momentary switch in. And what's that is doing is connecting the thicker gauge red wire that is coming from the battery to the actual blue wire that's coming out of the relay. And so here I'm just trying to walk you through it and show you the inside of the box that I've created. Essentially, the blue and the red wire on those relays are significantly thicker. Hopefully you can see it there. Maybe I'll just start holding it up here in a second and pulling them apart. That's the white wire that's being activated by the push button switch. So when positive power goes through that white wire into the black wire and then goes through the relay, it closes it. And hopefully you can see there, it's a little tough to see, but the red wire is 12 gauge and the white and the black wires are 16 gauge. So if you get a relay like this, it should be pretty easy for you to understand which ones are low power and which ones are high power. All of your high power is going to be going through that red wire, again, out of the blue wire when the relay is closed. And your switch should be controlling the white wire, and it should go through to the black wire back to the battery. So yeah, that's just a quick lesson on how the relays will work. When I have this completely set up, the blue wire will be running directly to my starter motor, and then it will go from the starter motor, out of the starter motor, and then there will be a negative wire that comes out of the starter motor back to the battery. So essentially, what we're doing with this relay is essentially making that starter push button momentary switch a lot more powerful without actually running all of that current through our momentary switch. All right, everybody. So just in conclusion, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. It's a starting box. It works really well as of now. I haven't tested it with the starter motor, obviously, because I don't have it yet. I will be installing a switch for the bilge pump and stuff like that. And I will be splicing I've got another one of these bilge pumps that I'm going to be splicing in together at a later date. But yeah, that's just a really simple starting box. Just run that blue wire from the relay right to your starting motor and just run a ground cable from your starting motor, again, back to your battery and not to your boat. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it for you. It's essentially just making that little push button switch, 60, 70, whatever your relay is amp capable, using a smaller switch to drive a bigger switch. So I hope that can be some help to people. I know there's probably a ton of these videos out there on the internet, but yeah, that's what I've done. Essentially gotten a battery that's just a little bit smaller than the battery box and using it as a waterproof enclosure. This is obviously going to fill out a decent amount more once I add in another relay, maybe even 2 more relays depending on what I want to power with this battery. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.